Oh, during the 60s, 70s, because I was teaching the largest class, one out of four undergraduates was in my class. The student radicals did everything they humanly could disrupt my class. Because I was stupid enough to teach, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you disrupt the, morning class, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Monday morning. That means that, as they said, business would not be as usual. So I had many confrontations. I don't know how embarrassing they were. They were really aggravating because, they cut into my class time. They never shut down my class, but they sure as hell compromised the amount of time.
Can
And
you be more specific?
well, okay, I'll be specific. There was something called guerrilla theater. And guerrilla theater consists of three, four guys or women come together dressed in these kind of Renaissance type costumes. And they would put on a skit, which was an anti-war skit. Well, I knew that they were going to come to my class. It was just a matter of time. And I was teaching in Memorial Auditorium. And so I was just dreading that. Well, we had already had those who were lying down on the steps. Students had to step around them, but this was big time disruption. So one day I'm giving a lecture. I hear this flute. They had a flute player who provided the music. The flute and Memorial Auditorium, in the back is a huge space. You can drive a car across it. I had somebody drive a motorcycle. But there were a lot of pranks, but this time, so I continued to talk, pretending like I was not hearing anything. But I could hear and see from the corner of my eye they were advancing on stage. And I could see on the face of the students. So they came and standing right behind me. I'm talking as if, they're not there. So the ringleader or the head of this theater kind of touched me on the elbow. So I said, yes. He said, we are the guerrilla theater and we would like to put on our skit. I said, but I'm not giving a lecture. And he came even closer to me and he said, well, you have a choice. You either give us 10 minutes to put this on or you argue with me for 20 minutes. Oh, it was like, glove is on the ground.
If you had a rapier.
Right. And you could cut the air with a knife. These I don't know, 1,000 students are just pairs of eyes. What is this guy going to do? So I came even closer to him and I said, look, I don't know how it's going to be after the revolution, but right now I am in charge. However, I said, these are the paying customers. They are in this class. They're paying tuition. Why don't you put this to a vote? Do they want to hear the guerrilla theater or do they want to continue with my lecture? I'm counting that they would vote for me. Well, what could they say? We are agreed? Yes, we are agreed. So I turned to the class. I said, we're going to put a vote, and this is the way the questions are going to be phrased, so you want to know ahead of time. So all those who want to see the guerrilla theater, there were a few very loud voices. Those who want me to continue the lecture, big, oh, yes, okay. So I said, sorry, your classmates would prefer to go to the lecture. So they turned around and got off the stage, but they didn't leave. Lecture finished, but this is a big distraction. Not only 10, 15 minutes, but, what was I talking about? I don't know where to pick up the thread. So I finished lecture and putting my, stuff together. The same guy who got into this conversation came back and he looked very hurt. And he said, did you have to humiliate me like this in front of the class? I said, I can't believe you're telling this to me. You come into my class, you interrupt me, and you are, giving me an ultimatum, basically, or making an ass out of myself, trying to, and you are complaining that I humiliated you. Come on. I also said to him, I said, look, I wouldn't say to the class, but I am on your side. I am against the war. So, it's not like I don't basically agree with your aims. I said, but you're interrupting my class is not going to stop the war. And if they had said guerrilla theater, I would have shut up. I said, 10 minutes, fine. I'll watch it too.
It's a great story.
So that's it's an interesting story.